Yeah, so the Cowboys got the win on Sunday Night Football, but barely. The Steelers' defense is really good, but Dak Prescott's the highest paid player in the league right now, and he had 3 turnovers. Even in the victory, the Cowboys' fraud watch gain even more momentum.
Oh, I don't think so at all. Listen, I thought the Cowboys moved the ball up and down the field, and those Dak 3 turnovers are killer, but against that defense, moving the ball is, really impressive.
It's a good sign.
And, right, I mean, you can kind of phrase it a different way. The Dallas Cowboys are on the road against a Mike Tomlin team on national TV, got to deal with a 90-minute lightning delay. Their quarterback has 3 turnovers. They have a field goal blocked. They are without Micah Parsons, DeMarcus Lawrence. They lose another defensive end, probably for the season, this one, during the game. They have a couple offensive linemen hurt, and they still won the game. That is, listen, it was ugly, but that's a great win. And that 4th down pass by Dak can be a pivotal turning point of a season. Just think about it. If they have 4th and goal, down 4, less than a minute left, less than 30 seconds left. If it's incomplete, the Cowboys fall to 2-3, and Dak is crushed all week for the turnovers. Instead, they complete the pass, they win the game, and they now feel like, all right, got the Lions and then a bye. Worst case scenario, we go into the bye 3-3 and get our guys back healthy. Best case scenario is all of a sudden we're 4-2 and looking like the clear class of the division, depending what Washington does. So I don't think Dallas is a great team. But the first 3 weeks of the year, they couldn't stop the run at all. The last 2 weeks, they've been excellent stopping the run. They got hit by the injury bug early, which can be brutal, but if you can sustain, then hopefully you're healthier late. And that's just a great win for them, because if they lose that game, Dak's under fire, the whole Dak CD thing. And by the way, call me crazy. I know people were doing lip reading on CeeDee Lamb. I don't think CeeDee Lamb is the type of guy to just be saying, because when everyone's like, oh, he was saying subpar throw, subpar. You think CeeDee Lamb in the middle of a football game is just out there dropping subpar? Like, I'm not.
Yo, I mean, are you coming at the man's vocab right now?
I'm not. Listen, he's always struck. No, I've heard him do interviews. He strikes me as a sharp guy, but that's just such a. You know what I mean?
It is a weird thing to say in the middle of a game.
It would be a weird thing.
Like,
subpar. Subpar. Like what? Are we talking about how the filet was cooked? Or are we talking? So I just don't think that is what he said. Charles Robinson said, I think it was Charles Robinson that said the other thing that if you think he is saying this, you'll see it, was jump balls. What he thought he was saying was jump balls for being Dak. And I'm like, oh, that makes way more sense. He's saying just throw me jump balls. You know what I mean? Trust me that I'll take care of it. That to me is way more believable than subpar throws.
Yeah, subpar is almost like unserious. Like he doesn't even really care. I don't know how to explain that, but it's half-hearted.
But the point that I'm making is had they lost, are Dak and CeeDee okay? You know, what's up with Dak? Jerry does an insane interview. Instead, they win. And now maybe if you lose to Detroit, that stuff's probably coming anyway. But maybe you beat Detroit. So like they played them last year, and so they were my pick to win the NFC East before the year. But if you remember, I put a little sprinkling on Washington at like 16-1, and everyone laughed at me. They're like, "Oh, you're hedging," and I was like, "No, what this is, it's not a hedge. It's just fading Philly." It's the belief that the Giants, and shout out to the Giants, good win for them, are not viable, and Philly is wildly overrated. I think Washington is actually oddly in a similar boat to Cincinnati, except they're 4-1, Cincinnati's 1-4, which is their offense has been awesome, but their defense can get cooked any week. So here's my thing on Washington real quick. I know everyone is giving Jaden Rookie of the Year already, and that's fine. But Washington plays Baltimore this week, DeMonze. I imagine you think Baltimore's going to win that game. Vegas thinks they're going to win that game.
Yeah.
Caleb goes to London to play the Jags. They're favored. Now, beating the Jags in London's hard, but let's just say. If that happens, both teams will be 4-2, and then they play each other. Caleb against Jaden. And the point I'm making is narratives can flip real quick. Where if all of a sudden Caleb is on a 4-game winning streak, having beaten Jaden, and also here, and Jaden's on a 2-game losing streak. And the other thing is this: Jaden has played better than Caleb this year, is obvious and not debatable. When they play each other, Caleb will be going up against one of the worst defenses in the league, and Jaden will be going up against one of the best defenses in the league. That shouldn't really impact how you view either player, but it will impact their stat lines. And
Right.
So a lot of these narratives can get flipped around a bit, but so I think right now my pick for the NFC East would be the Cowboys. Hey, thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button to get more from the show, and make sure to click the bell to get notified every time new content drops. Check out full episodes of What's Right wherever you get your podcasts, or just click the link in the description below.